Hello everyone, welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you're having a great day. If you've been watching Larry's Anything Goes programming, you know that we are not only providing great financial intelligence content as much as possible by interviewing other financial professionals, professionals in the travel industry, real estate industry, etc. and so forth, but we provide various services when it comes to specific products that we sell, from anything that you would actually find on Amazon or actually at Walmart, etc. and so forth. And we are actually providing specific products due to today's current crisis and whatnot to ensure that we provide the right services and products that you need at a reasonable price when it comes to medical face masks, when it comes to hand sanitizer, and when it comes to latex gloves and things of that nature, and etc. and so forth, toilet paper, paper towels. But we have what you need. Also, family, don't forget that Larry's Anything Goes is a part of an affiliate marketing network known as Gold Standard Partners, where you have the opportunity to buy cryptocurrency and allow others to invest with you as becoming an affiliate marketing partner. And obviously, if they purchase a package with the program, you're able to make money off their package purchases and make money off of their crypto purchases and things of that nature. If you want to join, please follow the links in the description, and I'll give you a call as soon as you sign up and purchase a package, and we'll go from there. But definitely, it's all about the best way to make money moves is to have currency with one another and to ensure that currency is always being spoken of on all levels, so it benefits everyone and not just one specific person. That's a lot of things that people forget about. So think about joining the program and we'll be able to go from there. But if not, either way, it's always appreciated. And thank you for watching. And hopefully you guys have a great day and continuously make money moves so you don't live broke like a fool. Take care. As you can see, with our various products, we have our financial apparel. As you see, wearing There's Anything Goes t-shirt, financial intelligence is sexy, face masks, latex gloves, things of that nature, to obviously ensure the safety of you and your family all at the same time. We want to ensure that you get the best products and see the actual products that we're actually providing for you, and giving you another view of not only the shirts and the medical masks, but actually another view of actual latex gloves and the actual hand sanitizer. Because one thing we've learned throughout this unfortunate crisis is that we have to take more precautionary measures to ensure not only the safety for ourselves, but for our families. And having a great pair of hand sanitizers, latex gloves, and medical face masks will ensure that safety. And with all that being said, hopefully you guys will check out our online store. We have the various products that you see here. With a couple of clicks, especially if you're paying via PayPal, it makes life that much easier for you to purchase our various products, especially during this unfortunate situation. You see the apparel from Larry's Anything Goes. We have the medical products when it comes to hand sanitizer, latex gloves, medical face masks, things of that nature, and various other products. So please check out Larry's Anything Goes. Support small local businesses. We greatly appreciate it, and hopefully that you have a good day. How goes the family? How goes it? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys having a great evening. Do the great three free things: like, share, and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Thank you to the new subscribers and all that good stuff. All right, so this is the first edition of today's forecast. We're all gonna die. I'm not making mockery of bad things that happen, but if you've been watching my channel for a while now, you know that I do love to mock the media because the media does one great thing. They do the awesome one great thing that they know that's going to sell and get them ratings because, we don't live in the era of newspapers anymore. We live in the era of subscriptions and views. So just like the how they work in the social media world, you got to put something crazy out there to get people's attention and for the algorithm to really take off on your channel. But I will say with all sincerity is that every time I get on my cell phone, if I pass by television and I see a news channel on, it's always reporting anything negative and bad that's happening in the world. And I remember not hearing, I remember reading one of my favorite Langston Hughes, one of my favorite civil rights advocates, and he said the biggest curse that is upon our society is that basically people always believe what they hear and read, but a lot of times people do not want to actually just believe what they see. And then a lot of times people don't want to actually believe in regards to actually go out and get their own experiences because it's unfortunately, especially a lot of Americans never ever get to leave the United States of America to go and go visit another country from a positive aspect. A lot of times they do it because they're in the military, or a lot of times they do it because for work purposes. They could be a merchant marine, they could just be a contractor to do some specific work in another country. And but they never, it's like having friends overseas for a lot of Americans. That's not normal. You know what I mean? And hey, and I get it in a lot of instances because certain times you're friends with people in other countries. They could be scam artists. They could be in Europe. They could be in Africa. They could be in the Caribbean, Central South America, Asia. It could be a scam. You just never know who you're dealing with. But to be able to, I think in a global economy, to be able to have contacts from a global perspective is a beautiful thing. I myself don't have that, but to be able to have that, that would be very interesting to get different perspectives from people who live in other countries. But anyways, a lot of times people do not visit other countries. Heck, they don't even go to other states because they always believe in what the freaking media says, and they don't go and get the freaking experience themselves. A great example. I heard so much crap about California. It's dangerous, this and other. And until one day, 10 years ago, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to visit. I always wanted to see Los Angeles. I'm going to Los Angeles. I went and it was a beautiful experience. Fell in love. The rest was history, but I didn't listen to what people said. I didn't because I'm from the DMV area. And most times people, a getaway for them is going to Ocean City, Virginia Beach, or going to Myrtle Beach, or going to Florida. And I'm like, I wanted to get off the East Coast. I'm like, I grew up on the freaking East Coast. I want to see something different. So I did that and fell in love with the West Coast. Been to Portland, been to Seattle, been to Vegas, been to Phoenix. And when I think of the West Coast, I think of those areas. Everything that's in between, that's just small town America. Anything wrong with small town America? No, but I like to go to the major cities when I go travel someplace. But yeah, that's I don't listen to what other people say. Sometimes you got to do your own action. Now, obviously, if there's a war torn country, I'm good. I'm not trying to visit. I'm just going to keep it like that. I remember a couple of years ago, or maybe it was almost 8 or 10 years ago, these idiots, they were hiking in northern Iraq, and they mysteriously found themselves in Iran. And all I could say was idiots. I remember these two women who were reporters, um, and they found themselves on the China and North Korean border, and they ended up getting arrested for trespassing in other countries. It's funny, and this is one thing the U.S. could definitely take a note. One thing, like a lot of other countries, they don't play that you sneaking into their countries unlawfully if you're there, overstay your visa and whatnot. Like they don't. A lot of countries don't play that. Heck, a lot of countries you can get sentenced 5 to 10 years in jail and whatnot with a huge fine if you break any laws in the country. So that's one thing is like you can say that's great about the United States of America is that you can break a certain amount of laws and you get a slap on the wrist or don't even get locked up, period. That's one thing I can say with sincerity. But anyways, I digress. I digress. But hey, today forecast, we're all gonna die. That's at least that's what the survey says. That's what the media says. It's the end of the world as we know it. Yes, I'm going to be a little goofy tonight because I'm calling this. This is my goofy broadcast kind of night and whatnot. But yes, the end of the world as we know it, and we're all going down in the tombs and the pits of hell because gas prices are high. It's at a national average of $5 a gallon, whatnot. Unfortunately, now this is nothing to make light of and whatnot. But before I go forward with since the gas prices have hit, I still don't let it. I think the only way people would really stop going out and doing stuff. So I think that's why people see the way things are now. So that's why they're like, well, let me go have some fun now and let me go travel now because eventually it's going to be too late. Um, but it hasn't slowed down traffic. Traffic is still bad in most metropolitan areas. New airports are still crowded. I went to Atlanta a couple of weeks ago. I'll be going to Houston in a couple of weeks. So it's like these things I really pay attention to. A lot, like I said, not what the media says, but I look on the roads. I look on the roadways, and I look at and I just go from there. Sometimes, like I said, if I listened to what the media said, I would never leave the house outside of going to work and going to the gym. I probably wouldn't even go to the gym or whatnot. I wouldn't go out of town. I would just stay at home and be a freaking recluse, like it was the beginning of the middle of 2020 or whatnot. If I listen to the media, but I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? But that's number one on today's forecast. We're all gonna die. Now, number two, this is interesting. This is actually brought to my attention today. I thought it was very interesting how Target is basically, especially for school, for the new school season. Also for the parents out there, um, if they're thinking about it, it's like they're going to have a up to 70 to 80% sale because the purchases of big TVs and appliances that people usually load up on has plummeted in Target and other major retailers and whatnot. That is the most interesting thing that I read today. It was brought to my attention, sent to me by a friend. Um, I was very very shocked by that. I'm like, dang, because the profits have tumbled down to 52% for Target family. 52%. All right. Target shoppers are just buying the bare necessities. What? Same thing at Walmart. I think most people are doing that. And I don't think nobody's really going out of the way to try to buy something that they really don't need right now because the money needs to go to food and gas. You know, does that mean it's the end of the world? Well, I don't think so, not yet, because, like I said, not yet. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said nothing. Quoting Easy E, rest his soul. But at the end of the day, I look at it as okay. Eventually, a person that they're going to want to buy a big TV or an appliance, they're going to do it when they need it. Call me crazy. See, I do stuff like that when I need it because I'm not in the business of trying to impress people. Um, and right now, most people outside of maybe I say going out to eat or maybe going on a vacation, most people are hunkering down on buying what they need. Like home sales are starting to go down, but we're not in that quote unquote recession area like people like to talk about. We're not there. But yeah, it's like so home sales are down, car sales are down. So these are things to just take into consideration, family. At the end of the day, because people are not buying it unless they need it. And is that bad for the economy? Absolutely. So you're going to see more and more sales for items like that for cars. Maybe home prices might come down a little bit. I don't think as significant as people would like, but TVs, appliances. Because there's going to be more of a supply, and there's going to be less. There's obviously there's starting to be less demand. When you talk about 52%, that's over 50% of their profit tumbled. All right, and And it's crazy because it says Target's quarterly financial report comes a day after shares of rival Walmart tumbled about 17% for similar reasons after it posted quarterly results. Both companies missed profit expectations by a wide margin. Shares of Walmart fell another 8% as of yesterday, which was Wednesday. Okay. As of and it's insane. Shares of Target closed on Wednesday, yet which yesterday down to 25%, the biggest one-day sell-off since the Black Monday market crash in 1987. Article says what hasn't changed is the willingness of Americans to spend, even with inflation hovering near 4-decade highs. Target said that revenue rose 4% to 24.83 billion in its most recent quarter, which was a little better than expected. Big box retailers became a lifeline during the pandemic, with millions of people splurging on food to make at home, as well as big ticket electronics and whatnot. But the spending on groceries continues to be strong, but those sales are lower margin compared with those luxuries for their home. Consumers are also spending more on things like luggage as they begin to travel again. Yet, even though consumer spending continues to be strong, costs are rising for major retailers. Um, and the CEO of Target says things have changed significantly from even 13 weeks ago. We did not project. I did not project the kind of significant increases we would see in freight and transportation costs. That is hitting the bottom line of companies that have prospered over the last 2 years. So that last great heyday of money getting thrown into the economy, for the most part, it's at a standstill. I'm not going to say it's over because you never know what might happen, but for the most part, it's at a standstill. But at the end of the day, that's why I said doing all that crazy unnecessary spending during the pandemic. I said this. I remember saying this 2 years ago. I said this was a time to put money away. You get stimulus money, even if you didn't get stimulus money. People were not from March of 2020 to at least I say from March 2020 to at least August of 2020, people had a good opportunity to save a lot of money because we had a lot of states that just when the summertime came, they opened up. I remember Texas, Florida, Georgia, Carolina. They was like, screw it, we're going to open up. It is what it is. But yeah, that was that. Okay. Then you had what was it? Then you had obviously a lot of other states that didn't open up until towards the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. And but at the end of the day, it is what it is on that one. But you still had for my people that had a lot of opportunities even during that time frame to work from home, even if you move to a cheaper state or whatnot. You had all these people, influx of people moving to specifically Texas and Florida and whatnot. If you had the opportunities to be in a state where there's no income state tax, my question is, what were you doing with that extra money? Because I always say this, my old boss, Paul Kerr, never forget him, good guy, he lives in Dallas, Texas. He retired down there. I remember he said this one thing. This is back when I was in my early 20s. This is back in 2007. He said, the problem with most people, when they make more money, they still spend more money. They spend more than they make. He said, most people don't have financial discipline and that was a time where I remember everybody in the DMV area, they were getting paid a good money, even though, cost of living was crazy. Everybody was getting their six-figure salaries, but the mindset of saving and investing wasn't as big as making more and spending more so I could look lavishly and, basically try to keep up with the Joneses, or as I like to call, basically another version of being ghetto fabulous. All right. So with that being said, yeah, I think I don't think I know we're in a time now. I'm not acting like I'm an economist and whatnot, but people are trying to obviously still get the best bang for the buck. One, but two, people are like, hey, I'm going to spend the money on the necessities and anything that if I'm going to spend the money on outside of that. A lot of people love to travel. I love to travel. That is my thing. I don't drive a fancy car. I don't live in a fancy neighborhood. I don't wear jewelry whatsoever. I like to travel. That is everybody's got their thing that they like to do. Some people like to put their money in the cars, jewelry, clothing, hair, whatever. Okay. I like to travel. So that's the kind of guy I am. I can say that. It's like I don't mind. The only big ticket item I want to spend money on as far as for pleasure is travel. That's it. Anything else is minute. Any other big ticket item is out of necessity. Like getting work done on your house, replacing an appliance in your house because out of necessity, not just so it can look brand new and shiny and all that other nonsense. So yeah, this is interesting. And you know, Target and other retailers, it's going to be an interesting year or a couple of years to see what ends up happening, because now these places are having the biggest sales. So if you do need one of these things, hey, you might get it at a better price. But these companies are having their biggest sales than they ever had before, because they're trying to they're going to need to get rid of inventory, especially if this continues up until the Christmas holiday. That's another thing to take into consideration. All right. All righty. Now, last but not least, and this is on a serious note. Unfortunately, that this happened, is that 3 people were killed today in Maryland, which is the state right next door to where my home state of Virginia. Unfortunately, so my thoughts and prayers do go out to the families on this one, because I'm not playing around. Even though this is a joking around about the media's nonsense, but this is actually in a manufacturing facility. 3 people died and 3 people were injured after a shooter opened fire at a manufacturing facility in Smithsburg, Maryland. The male suspect is one of the 3 people injured. According to the Washington County Sheriff's Office, the shooting took place just after 2:30 p.m. I was at the gym, Columbia Machine in Smithsburg, about 75 miles west of Baltimore. During a news conference Thursday evening, authorities identified the 3 people killed. And like I said, my heart goes out to them. The sheriff told reporters Thursday that the suspect, who was only identified as a 23-year-old male, used a semi-automatic handgun in the shooting. Authorities have not yet released the suspect's identity due to him not being charged yet. Okay. At this time, I can confirm all the victims and the suspects were current employees of the Columbia Machine Incorporated. Following the shooting, the suspect fled the area but was quickly found by Maryland State Police a few roads down from the scene, according to the officials. State trooper and the suspect shot at each other, leaving both injured and taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. Wow, it's crazy. Suspect is no longer a threat to the community. Multiple federal agencies, including FBI and ATF, have responded to assist local authorities in the investigation into the shooting. That's crazy. And the saddest thing is, like, I remember there was a shooting at another in Oklahoma, and it was somebody who was at, I guess it was work related and whatnot. So I don't one, I don't condone this behavior whatsoever, but two, I don't get this whole I got to shoot up my job thing. If this person was an employee of the job. So I know times are hard, and I know that a lot of times, but that bad things happen. Somebody might take you off, but there's just other ways, family. This is not called for. That's all I can say on that one. But and this is another thing to remember: going out of your way to take people off is not in one's best interest anymore nowadays. That's why and I'm not advocating violence on any level, but we do have a generation more so now, not like we never had this before, but we do have a generation more so now where people will go out of the way to flip off, and nobody wants to fight it anymore. Everybody wants to shoot and stab. So this is nothing to, at the end of the day, it's nothing to play with. And I'll leave it at that. But I will end this on a good positive note. I will say that, hey, what's going on, Chris? How you holding up, brother? Yeah, it's like no matter what state, I told somebody else today, I was just like, hey, no matter what state you live in, gun control, no gun control, all that is irrelevant in today's world, because if a crazy person wants to do something, they're going to do it. It's unfortunate, but what are you going to do? So from Maryland to New York to Texas to Oklahoma, red states and blue states, doesn't matter. If a crazy person wants to do something, they're going to do it. It is what it is. I think the state that gets the number one credit of crazy people doing stuff is usually Florida. Something must be in the water in Florida, because they usually always got something crazy going on down there. You know, exactly. Yeah, I'm just grateful to be alive myself, brother. So, but anyways, family, that is it. I'm calling it a night. It's been a long, long day, but it's all good in the neighborhood. So today's forecast, we're all gonna die. But I hope that's not I'm not trying to say that to be funny, but that is my saying, that when people always talk about what's happening in the media, I'm not making lightly of the situation in Maryland at all. That is a very, horrific tragedy. But answer me this in the comments before I go. Remember, tell me a time when you remember the media, any media outlet outside of local bloggers and whatnot, like myself, reported something that was good that was happening in the world. And I leave on that note because a lot of times I know that's not sexy, that doesn't sell. Drama sells, nonsense sells, violence sells. But just let me know when's the last time the media really harped on something good and positive, and not the I like to call the media reality TV a lot of times. This governor said this about this congressperson, this president said something about this governor nonsense. No, try to remember a time where something good actually happened in the world that was actually publicized. Most people can't because the negativity is very, very high, and everybody loves to respond to the negativity in a big, big way. But it is what it is. All right. Do a great 3 free things, family. Like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully, you have a great day. Don't forget to check out the online store. I'm out of here. We got this weekend. If you notice, I'm put a lot of videos together because this weekend will be busy, so I will not be posting any content. But hey, it's all good. I'm here for you guys. I love what I do. I love being a part of the family. So it's all good in the neighborhood, man. Exactly. Chris says, never since I've been watching. Exactly, because it's their job to not be positive. It's their job to be negative. Negativity sells. That's why all these stupid reality TV shows are still on to this day. And still are very popular, making people superstars and millionaires. So I can't even get mad at it. As Booker T said, the former wrestler, he said, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." And I can't do nothing but love it. So it is what it is. On that note, family, I am out. Take care. Mike, now.